everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Keisha the Sugar Muse, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make pound cake. So first I have a bowl with some cake flour in it. I have some white sugar, half a cup of sour cream, and half a cup of buttermilk. The zest of 2 large lemons, teaspoon of baking powder, and a 3/4 teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of lemon extract, 2 spoons of vanilla extract in this measuring cup. 3 sticks of unsalted room temperature butter. Now what I'm first going to do before I start mixing anything is I'm going to take my little 1/4 cup measure and I'm going to scoop out of my sugar. Now I'm going to set that aside and use it for my pans later on. Okay, so into my bowl I'm going to put my butter. Go ahead and put on my paddle attachment. And then I'm going to beat that just to break it down a little bit. Okay, so to that I'm going to add my sugar. And I'm going to cream this together for approximately 5 minutes until it's light and fluffy. So as you can see, I now have a light and fluffy butter sugar mixture. Now that step is very important because that's where the leavening for your pound cake comes from. Well, most of it. You'll have a little help from the baking powder, but this is most of the leavening for your pound cake. So now I'm gonna beat it for just about 30 seconds longer. And now you want to add your eggs one at a time, beating until each one is incorporated. Scrape it real quick. Go for 30 more seconds. While this is going, I'm going to add my extracts and my lemon zest. 30 seconds. Okay, so that looks good. Everything is incorporated. Looks very nice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flour and I'm going to add my leaveners and my salt to my flour, and I'm going to whisk it well. I'm going to make sure you whisk it thoroughly so that your leavener and your salt is evenly distributed throughout the flour. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our flour and we're going to take our sour cream and buttermilk and we're going to add them alternatively to our egg and sugar mixture. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a scoop and I'm going to add about 1/3 of the flour and then about 1/3 of buttermilk and sour cream, and then I'm just going to go back and forth until everything's incorporated. So you start with the flour and end with the flour. Scrape the bowl once again. Get all that flour from the edges off. I forgot to mention, if you're not careful, that zest that you're using in your batter will accumulate around these crevices on the paddle. So when you scrape your bowl, you do want to stop and catch that paddle and scrape it off to make sure all of your zest has not just wrapped around the paddle and then it's not evenly distributed throughout your batter. Okay, so everything appears to be well mixed. So scrape your sides, double check, make sure that everything is mixed in together. And now we're going to prepare our pan to put our batter into. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray my pan. I'm gonna spray it well. You want to make sure you get into all of those crevices, because if not, if your pan is not well greased, your cake will stick and then you'll just want to cry like I did. So now I'm going to put my sugar in, and I'm going to tip my pan around to coat everything with the sugar. Now make sure to coat the little part around the middle as well. It's okay if you get sugar all over the place. You gotta clean up your kitchen anyway, so. So now that the pan is ready, we're going to put our batter into the pan. Now, you're probably looking like, how am I gonna get all of this batter into this pan? Well, I'm not. I'm only going to fill the pan 3/4 of the way with batter. Any excess batter, you can either put it into a loaf pan, you can put it into cupcake pans and make little cupcakes, but you don't wanna overfill your bundt pan, because then you'll have a fiery mess in your oven, and trust me, you don't want to clean that up. Fill my pan 3/4 of the way. Now I know you know that I love measuring with my batter by weight, but that's not always possible. This time I'm just gonna eyeball it. Smooth it out so that you can see if you need to add any more. Okay, so that puts us at right around 3/4 of a full pan. Another way you can get rid of air bubbles is to take, I'm gonna use a chopstick, but you can use a knife. Just make sure you have no air bubbles. And then we're gonna stick this into the oven. We're gonna bake this at 325 degrees for between 75 and 85 minutes. You want a toothpick to come out clean. You don't want to bake it too quickly. You don't want to bake it too high of a temperature, because it has such an extended baking period. And we're gonna start checking it at 1 hour and 10 minutes, but we'll probably go to 1 hour and 20 minutes. Okay, so the cake has been cooling for about 15 minutes. It's still pretty warm to the touch. So you can either turn it out onto a cooling rack, or you can turn it out onto a plate. But since I'm making this cake for someone, I have to transport it. So I'm going to turn mine out onto a cardboard cake round. Just put it over, grab your cake, flip it, like so. Jiggle the pan just a little bit so that it comes on out of there. And there you go. There's your perfect pound cake. Now you can sprinkle it with powdered sugar. You can glaze it with a simple powdered sugar glaze. You can put whatever your heart's desire on here. I will include a really easy powdered sugar and lemon juice glaze in the description box. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you make the cake, because I know you'll enjoy it, and I will see you again really soon.